Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a quick look at the Yamaha Revstar Element RSE20 in Swift Blue. So I've had a couple of the older generation Revstars. I had an RS720B in ash gray, and then I also had in shot black I had an RS502, and they were really decent guitars. You know, really well made. They were a little on the heavy side though, if I remember correctly, and that's something that Yamaha has addressed in this new line of Revstars. They did some chambering in the body, and it's pretty strategic chambering, actually. They say they did the chambering, you know, for acoustical and resonance reasons, more so than weight reasons, but it does help make these new ones a bit lighter. And, you know, you can definitely find some you know, light Revstars out there. Although, reading online, I kind of get the impression that maybe the weight does kind of vary. This one weighs 7 pounds and 5 ounces. So that's pretty light, just, you know, just a hair under 7.5 pounds. And, you know, I would consider that, you know, for this type of guitar, fairly light. So there's, you know, there's definitely light Revstars out there. So those other two Revstars that I, you know, had in the past, were a little higher priced. They were, you know, a little higher up the chain, I guess you'd say, the Revstars. This new, this RSE20 here is part of the Element line of the Revstars, and it seems to be their most inexpensive of the Revstars. So the body is mahogany. It's got a mahogany neck, and it's got a rosewood fretboard. And it's nice to see rosewood on a guitar in this price range. You know, a lot of companies are using something maybe like laurel now, you know, for a fretboard material, you know, especially on guitars in this price range. So, you know, it's definitely nice to see rosewood on there. Now, some people are saying that the neck seems you know, really thin. I honestly don't find it thin or thick. I find it to be a pretty medium C. I'm not real sensitive to neck shapes all that much, so, you know, I can usually get along fine with just about any neck shape. So maybe that's why it just kind of, you know, feels like a normal C to me. But I definitely wouldn't call it thin. It's not a big, you know, Gibson 59 neck or anything like that, but I think it's a, you know, very comfortable neck. As far as the frets on this guitar, the frets are really nice. I did have one, it was the 13th fret, was a little sharp on the end. And that's kind of weird that, I mean, you know, usually it's either all the frets are a little jagged or none of them are. For there just to be one fret that was a little sharp, it's probably more of a fluke than anything else. But, you know, the frets are rolled nice. They're all level. I checked them with a rocker. And they were actually pretty decently polished, you know, right out of the box. Definitely nice fretwork. Yamaha calls these jumbos. Yeah, I guess they're jumbo. They're not the largest jumbo frets I've ever seen, but I would say they're definitely in the jumbo fret family. As for the electronics in this guitar, it's got a set of Yamaha's Alnico 5 humbuckers. It's got a 3-way switch and a master volume and a master tone. And these pickups, for being, you know, just Yamaha Alnico 5 humbuckers, they're actually really, really decent. And I don't really see a need for you to have to replace them, you know, unless you really, really wanted to. They actually sound good. This one has, like I said, has a 3-way switch. The rest of the Yamaha Revstar line moves to a 5-way switch. And there is a, what Yamaha calls their dry switch on it. You know, it's on a push-pull here on the tone pot. It's basically just like a high pass. It's pretty subtle in my experience. Now, the higher lines move to what Yamaha calls their focus switch. And I can't really comment on the focus switch because I've never had a guitar that has the focus switch. My older Yamahas, you know, the whole Revstar line back then just had the dry switch like this guitar does. Bridge and a stop tailpiece, and you do get non-locking tuners. So, you know, nothing wrong with any of the hardware that comes on it. The tuners are actually pretty decent. Regular viewers of my channel will know that I always have locking tuners, so it will surprise no one probably that I put a set of the Graphtec ratio locking tuners on my Revstar here. And I did take the, you know, the tuner buttons here off of the original tuners and put them on the ratios just to keep the look the same. Plus, I think they look kind of cool. And I did also put a Graphtec Rhizomax bridge on mine, you know, with the Graphtec saddles. No, like I said, no real reason to do that other than, you know, I had the bridge from Graphtec and it, you know, works on there perfectly. So I did go ahead and throw that on there. But, you know, pretty decent hardware, pretty, you know, run-of-the-mill hardware. Nothing wrong with it, though. But like I said, I definitely wanted locking tuners. And I swapped out the switch tip and the knobs for these cream, you know, versions. I thought, you know, with the overall look of the guitar, they looked kind of cool. As far as the nut, it does have kind of like a Graphtec graphite type nut on it, and it seemed to be cut pretty good. I thought it, the action up here was a little higher than I would like, so I got my, you know, nut files out and just kind of addressed those slots to, you know, lower the action a little bit. But as far as the, you know, the angles and everything of the slots, you know, they were cut fine. We'll do some tone samples for you, and of course, like I always say, that means we're going to do the same riff we always do, among some others. the RSE20 Revstar here in the Element range comes in a few different colors. I went for the Swift Blue because I thought it was the most unique, color. It has proven to be a pretty hard color to accurately represent, either in photos or on video though. I've yet to really see a picture or a video that can translate, exactly what the color looks like that it does, in person. And there's a neon yellow that's a pretty loud, hot color that seems pretty cool too. And I've heard the same thing about those, that they don't photograph or, video the true, color of the guitar. But like I said, I went with the Swift Blue with the, cream, look on it here with the racing stripes and all. I just thought it was, fairly unique and kind of cool looking, so I went with this one. So all in all though, I gotta say that I think these guitars are probably the best deal in their price range. These retail for like $499 US, which for the guitar you get, that's ridiculous, really. Like I said, unless you really, really want locking tuners, I don't think you really need to do anything to this guitar, as it comes, right out of the box. So definitely a solid choice for the money. And then, if you're someone like me that likes to, tinker with their guitars a lot, it would be a solid platform, for upgrades. But like I said, I don't think you really need to do any upgrades. The humbuckers are actually really, really nice. The hardware is solid. And, the tuners, although non-locking, out of the box, they were solid. So, but I want to thank you guys for checking it out with me. We'll see you next time.